Gets the start of the NCAA tournament. Let the madness begin a little after 12 noon today. Jimmy Patsos in studio. Siena men's basketball coach. He brought Ryan Harkins with him as well, the Shark.
Shark's here.
Shark is in the house. He's director of basketball ops. Walking encyclopedia of all these
so
teams.
Excited for Villanova today. That's all I can think about.
Nova.
They play today, right? 7 o'clock.
Shark, I got Nova going to the Final Four, and I got Nova the national title game, losing to Kansas.
That's what he has.
You have them losing to Kansas. Yeah, winning over Kansas. Okay, well, listen.
I got UCLA.
Coach, good to see you. First of all, let's start with the live, local, late breaking. How did you land this job on TV as an in-studio analyst?
You know, Tim Kiley's the producer, is a really good guy. He's a Pittsburgh guy who's been around a long time and knows Jay Wright very well. So it was the trade for Shark. We took Shark from Villanova, and I got 2 days in Turner Broadcasting. And then also my agent knows him, Jordan Bazan. It's just they needed someone to come in, and they said, "Would you do it?" And I said, "Of course." You know, so they asked Bruce Pearl. They kind of just go down the line and see who wants to come to Atlanta. And it's great exposure for the school. And
oh my gosh, yeah.
I like Brendan Hayward. I knew from Carolina. Seth Davis, a Duke guy, so I figured they needed a Terp, and then they needed a Saint, so they called me.
And I just said to Jimmy before he came on, I said, "So you're going to be like studying up here, boning up on all these teams and all that stuff?" And you said, no, not really.
No, it's funny. The guy, you know, the producer who's the boss, I said I could do all this stuff. Like I watched Carolina Central last night. I watched USC come back, which I thought that was over at halftime.
Yeah, so did I.
Kansas State, and then, of course, I'm watching all the games, and he said, just be yourself. You know, you can take some. They're going to have a million notes. I did this once before in 2012 down in New York. They have millions of pieces of paper to read, and I'm a reader. So, but you don't want to get bogged down. You just want to kind of give a coach's perspective. I know most of the guys in it, and I just want to have Shark there to ad-lib. So that's my only saddening part of this whole thing.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching.
We don't have Zach anymore. I want to talk about that.
Hey, you will. Just so you know, you will have to throw on some makeup.
We'll put a little makeup on there.
Yeah. I mean, they'll do it for you.
But we bring the extra shirt. We know how to fool him at halftime, don't we, Shark? With the dryer. People are like, he's not sweating. That's because Shark had that big air blower thing doing my shirt.
Well, you're not going to be sweating in the studio.
The lights are pretty hot, although the New York studio was freezing. Did anybody catch that yesterday?
I did. Those guys were
freezing.
They were freezing. Yeah, they were freezing. They said they were anyway.
Yeah, no, because the guy, all the cameramen had the Bills hat on and everything. So
is there a piece of you that I hear coaches and players too? You get maybe a little bit nervous before every game. That's a good thing. Will you get nervous before going to do this because it's
I'm already a little. I woke up with the whole I never should have said yes to this.
Yeah,
this was a bad idea. This is how it all ends.
There's nothing bad about that for you. Nothing. Not one thing is bad.
No, and it's funny because you want to be playing in the tournament. I think Boeheim put it best. You're a bucket away from playing in the tournament.
Right.
So now you got to go. And it's okay. It's okay we didn't go to a postseason this year. Me and John decided that this wasn't the year to go. I think those tournaments are very good. Anytime you play in the postseason is good. We had 4 seniors. We ran it out. We were on TV 3 times in the last 2 weeks of the season. But the NCAA thing is it's good to be there. It'll be a little like... I'm actually nervous for, my friends because I'm going to have to reference them all, whether it's Mick Cronin or Turgeon or Mike Bray or, part of the family.
Who's your best friend in the tournament?
My best friend in the tournament? I mean, it depends. I mean, I'm really tight with, different people, but Mick Cronin and I go way back from Cincinnati. We were both, first-time assistants at the pump. There's a picture of me, Sonny Vaccaro, Mick Cronin, Skip Prosser, John Calipari. We're at this clinic in L.A. that... It was called the Double Pump. They tried it for the first time. They had it at this place in Malibu where they filmed Diagnosis Murder and all this stuff. It was very Hollywoody the way they did it. But we have a picture of it all. It's me and Mick Cronin next to Rick Callahan from Monmouth. He's 150 pounds lighter, but he's in the picture. But it's funny. I have jet black hair. But me and Mick go way back because he was kind of on the road. And then Ed Cooley last night. We used to run around together too. Because we used to do the West more. Gary Williams and Bob Huggins, they'd do the East. So we do the West. But I'm rooting hard for Turgeon. Mike Bray was my camp counselor 30 years ago.
Come on.
At Mount St. Mary's,
wow.
Yeah, he was like a high school assistant at DeMatha before he went.
I think
great coach.
He's a terrific
great
coach.
Great guy, too. And so just stuff like that, those kind of things, you deal with those people.
Jimmy, do you see as you look at today's games as we get ready to roll after 12 noon today, do you see any, do you have any upsets that you might want to throw out there for us? I know a lot of people are still filling out brackets because they get to turn them in by noon, so some people are still doing that this morning. What do you see today?
I like West Virginia. Billy Hahn's one of my best. Of course, Jay Wright we know because of the Shark and because I golf with him. I don't know. Everybody thinks Florida Gulf Coast's going to win. They were tough this year. They were athletic, but Florida
State.
They're real. That guy, they got a draft choice in the top 5, and then Bacon I really like, too.
They're huge, too.
I think Princeton Notre Dame's going to be a good game. Princeton, Mitch Henderson did a good job. They had their first tournament this year. They had 2 games in 4 days. They had 2 games, right? Just 4 teams. That was on the weekend. Princeton survives. You know, they survive over Penn. They handle Yale. Now they've won
19 consecutive games.
Yeah, I mean them in Vermont, like the hottest teams. I like Maryland over Xavier.
Okay,
you give UVM a shot to beat Purdue. I mean, I know Purdue's
I do.
huge.
It's not It's not the greatest matchup for them. I'd rather play a speed team than a big team. And plus, I think Purdue's mad. I watched them miss those shots to go to when they lost, I guess, to Michigan, right?
Yep.
In the quarterfinals. I just think they're really big. They got those really big guys. Who's the guy you like on there? Swanigan?
Yeah.
Yes. We're trying to get Sammy Friday to get on the Swanigan diet. Instead of looking like he ate Swanigan, we want him to get on the diet. But that guy's turned into a great... But they're going to be... See, I always think sometimes going far in your tournament can hurt you.
Really?
I think, look, we used to look at it. The year we won the national title, we lost in the semis to NC State at 2 in the afternoon. We swore that was a good thing. You go to the finals, you're just exhausted. Duke's shown that a bunch. They win the ACC, they lose to Bucknell, they lose to... It's just, it wears you out a lot, you know. Now, they played 4 games in 4 days. 3 games, it's emotional. All of a sudden, Sunday, you're flying back. Monday, now you're playing in the tournament, and you can get caught.
Right.
So having a little rest can be...
It's interesting. I never heard that, but it makes sense.
No,
it's lay it out like that.
If you look at it, you know, and that's why Kansas is clearly going to be re-energized. Shark, who do you got today?
I got an upset actually today. UNC Wilmington over Virginia.
There you go. We just talked about that before you guys came in here.
UNC Wilmington's very underrated, I think. Under the radar.
This year, which is a hard place to win.
Yeah, and sometimes Virginia just doesn't score. So
I was going to say that's kind of plagued them in recent years. They have those droughts, and they were a nice team this year, but you know they weren't as good, I think, this year as they have been the past couple of years.
I'll tell you who's going to win. Nevada's going to win.
Nevada's another one. On the Cats.
All right, that is Nevada's a 12, so it'll be a 12 over a 5.
That's where Sperber's nephew was at Nevada doing all his analytics. And then he went to New Mexico State.
Where's he at now?
Jordan, New Mexico State, and they won $1 million in a row. He's going to go to the NBA, this kid.
Jordan played at Bethlehem.
Yes,
he's a local product.
Bethlehem had a nice year. We're not allowed to talk about recruiting, but that guy can coach.
Yeah, well, it was their first AA championship since 1972.
And if you looked at if you were looking at that league in the preseason, you said Bethlehem is like the 8th best team in that league, and then they go and win it. It's a testament to your coach of the year.
Glen Falls though this year.
I'm a Colony guy. I got my Colony garb on. But
we hope to be a Colony guy one day too.
Yeah, I know you do. And I had lunch with their coach yesterday. Talking all about that.
A lot of good coaches in this area. I'll tell you, as I've watched basketball more.
Well, I agree with you. A.G. Irons did a great job. He really did a good job.
A lot of good. You know, there's a lot of different. Like you learn stuff. I go to high school games and I pick up the run and jump from Bethlehem. We use it a little because they were good. I'll tell you what. This area doesn't get enough credit for coaches, and then of course the players they produce. That's why I'm happy for Herter doing really well. The Notre Dame's got a guy, right? And then next year Carolina.
Yeah, Andrew Platek from Gilman.
So back on the local scene, Maryland Herter. You think they can make a deep run?
I don't know. It just depends who wins. If Florida Gulf Coast, you know, that's the old...
So I have Florida Gulf Coast winning and then Maryland beating Florida Gulf Coast.
See, that's how that works. Like Gary Williams used to say we never get lucky. The year we won it, we played Wisconsin, Connecticut, Kentucky, Indiana, Kansas. All 5 have won national championships. We never got the upset like some teams did. You know, he always used to say Cremens was lucky. Or my last year in the tournament, we had to play Syracuse in Denver. They were the defending national champs. In other words, can you get that break that can propel you to the Sweet 16 and then you can get another lucky break because somebody gets beat? Or do you have to play the top seeds? Like Villanova last year, Shark, did you play all the top seeds? No breaks, no luck?
Oklahoma, there were
2. You're right.
So it doesn't
But I mean just in general, like early.
yeah, Iowa, Miami, Kansas.
Yeah, Iowa, Miami. Those are like, anybody can beat anybody. I want to play, no offense, I want to play the Patriot League team that upsets the team. They go crazy, dive on the floor. They got no chance of winning the next game.
Right. I watched Iowa in the NIT last night. They did 12,000 people in their building. It's pretty
ridiculous.
Impressive. Pretty impressive for an NIT game.
That's pretty impressive.
And there was only 4,000 at the Carry Dome for an NIT game.
Out there, it's different. Yeah. They got a young team. I watched them. I told you, shoot a bunch of threes against Maryland. His teams, it depends. I think I heard Zach when I was walking in. Are you ready to play or not? It's kind of hit or miss. Do you want to be in the tournament or these other tournaments?
Let's take a short time-out. You allowed to stay?
I can stay.
Another another segment. Sorry about that. 476-1045 is the number. 476-1045. We're talking NCAA college basketball with Siena head coach Jimmy Patsos and the Shark. More of that next on Big Board Sports 104.5 at Team ESPN Radio. Back Jimmy Patsos in studio here. The Shark joining us. Chris Honorado in as well this morning. Zachary Bai producing, running the show on his final day. More on that later on in this program as we wish him well in his next endeavor. But we're talking college basketball. We're talking NCAA basketball. And Coach, do you have an Elite Eight? Have you made any?
No, I got. Unfortunately,
what do you have there?
I got Duke Villanova. I think even though I think Duke's going to be tired from all that, I got my boys from West Virginia. I got them in it. I just have them.
How far?
The whole to the Final Four.
Wow.
Well, I don't really. I watched Arizona play last year. I don't watch the West enough, but by the way, Andy Enfield and I played against each other. I beat him all 3 times. He was at Johns Hopkins. He used to run lacrosse camps. He was a visionary. He was running lacrosse camps while he was a student because all the best players in the country were at Johns Hopkins. Then he went and worked for the Celtics. He was on. Well, I've been friends with Andy Enfield forever. So I don't know. Pac-10. I wasn't. You don't see him enough.
I remember
now all of a sudden
there was some doubts about him when he got that job. They're like he doesn't know this area for recruiting and things like that, but he's done pretty well.
He's done well. Again, the kid boat rates. Look, they're always going to look. They're only talking about one thing right now at USC, and that's who's going to be the quarterback next year. They don't care.
Right.
So that's just part of the deal out there. So he's done a great job.
Penn State in the Rose Bowl will be the kid. That's the guy.
He played. Well, they played great in the last half of the season. My point is he's done a great job. You can only get him so excited out there at USC. They like when they play UCLA, but they're worried about the Lakers and the Kings and everybody else. Now they got football, NFL.
So you have West Virginia beating Princeton, right?
I just have West Virginia going the whole way.
Notre Dame's playing great right now, so it would be Notre Dame and West Virginia with the winner going to the Sweet 16. I have Notre Dame beating West Virginia.
I got West Virginia. West Virginia bowed out early last year, and that was not a good thing for them, and I think Huggins' message has been pretty clear.
Which of the number 1 teams will go out first?
Well, I got Arizona going out. I got UCLA winning it all because of Shark. I got Villanova. And then the other bracket, I'm not really sure.
Wait a minute. You said UCLA winning it all?
Winning it all. And then ball goes to Boston, the Celtics for me. This is all part of the dream.
Wow.
After he gets his $1 billion. Did you see that? I know those family. I know them. Enough to say hi to them and everything. Because I've been watching. Because I said I do the West a lot. We had Ryan Oliver out there and that whole... that kid's good. That kid, I hope he goes to Celtics.
What do you think of the old man?
All I know is they're a fun AAU team to watch. They shoot. Once they cross half court, it goes up. They make Paul Westhead look like a defensive genius.
It's his own team, right? He created his own team.
His own thing. It's the whole thing's it's a great show. TNT should put that on.
Big baller brand.
That's you know what? I was listening to Mike and Mike.
I don't know. The one in the middle's not gonna.
I don't mind the dad. And I agree with Golick this morning. I don't mind him pumping up his kid. We all pump up our kids. I pump up Brady 24/7.
You were yelling at him when I watched you, Coach.
Yeah, well, I do that too. He's a point guard.
I saw
you yell at the point guard.
He cleared out. You ran a play with the drive, and then he missed the layup, and that was it.
Stinking kid can't make a layup. But anyway, I don't like it when he starts comparing his kid to these other great players. He's better than Curry, better than Jordan. That part of it I agree. I don't like that.
And I think you're putting undue pressure on the kid. I mean, really, he hasn't scored an NBA point yet. I get being confident, but
no, but he's going to be good.
He's terrific. I mean, he's terrific.
Well, I guess I don't feel so badly then putting UCLA in my Final Four because you have them winning the national championship.
No, I think he knows it's his only chance. I mean, look, these are all just games. I mean, look, they've lost some games this year, but they've won some big ones.
Who do you have them beating in the national championship?
I have them beating West Virginia.
You got West Virginia going all the way.
I'm just doing it because of Billy Hahn and Huggs and all those guys. They're kind of my thing. I mean, Sharks got Villanova. I think Villanova, is obviously clearly a great team. I like Villanova. They're just doing what it takes to win. Hart's kind of a role model for us where he just was a scorer. Now he's doing all the little stuff. And
let's let Shark go. What do you got in your, I don't know, Elite Eight, Final Four, national champion? Let's hear from you.
I actually would agree with Jimmy on the West Virginia. I have them in the Final Four. Villanova, West Virginia, and then I have, who is it? Louisville and Kentucky. So Villanova, Kentucky, Wildcat national championship.
There you go.
We haven't talked about North Carolina yet.
I actually think North Carolina might lose this weekend.
This weekend,
Shark. No way.
Seton Hall.
Whoa.
Seton Hall.
Whoa. Bold.
Delgado's pretty good. Delgado's a beast. I mean, I'm just, if I had to pick one.
I know, they got a lot of talent.
That might be
Carolina.
the one.
They're another one. I mean, they had Duke down 10. I was surprised that I kind of click away. Enough saying I come back and they're losing. They got a ton of talent at Carolina. But can they shoot the three good enough? I don't know. They're missing a guy, right?
When was the last time who was the last team to repeat national? Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
Donovan,
I was all the way with Joakim Noah.
Those guys, that group was really good.
All the way. It was down Maryland. It came down to Maryland and Florida. I followed them from International United Nations School to Poly Prep to Lawrenceville. No, it was all the way, and it came down to us in Florida.
Did you think you had him?
I never think I'm in recruiting until the end, until you have them. But, we were right there, and his agents, Yannick Noah's agent was from D.C., and his mother was going to be close because she was an artist in New York.
That's right.
All the way through, and I found him first. He was working the concession stand at ABCD for Sonny Vaccaro. I'm like, how come you don't play? He's like, I'm going to next year. And we started talking about tennis and stuff. He was a cool kid. Yeah. He was very, very intelligent kid.
Yeah,
clearly took the $72 million. He's really smart.
Yeah, right.
I was going to say, he stinks for $72 million. I can tell you that.
Can't blame him, though.
No, I don't blame him.
But it just goes to show how far we are removed from 2007, where you could convince a group of first-round draft picks to come back for their senior year of college.
Think of that, Joe. Him and Horford. Yeah, you know what? That's funny you said that. Yeah, that's just over.
It would never happen now.
No, they're already gone. Everybody knows all these guys are gone. Nobody's coming back. None of these kids are coming back.
Right. It's already done. They're already checked out in their mind that if you got that stock, those were all first-round guys.
It's funny you said that, Zach. That's a completely good thing to talk about. And they wanted to come back and try to repeat, and they loved Billy. Billy Donovan's now in the pros.
Right.
But yeah, can Villanova repeat? Sure. I mean, why not? They don't have Booth, though, and he's redshirting, right, Shark?
Yeah.
Now, I have Michigan in the Sweet 16.
See, I think they used all their juice up.
I totally agree.
Unless the players have to run away again, because that was unbelievable.
You're not going to like this. I've got them beating Louisville.
Thank God.
I think they might lose, actually, at Oklahoma State. Yeah.
I was going to say, Michigan, they were underwhelming all season long. I know they won some games.
But they got a little story going on here. They're kind of riding a little bit.
Oh, my God, the plane thing. I hate to say it, but that wakes the kids up. Like, Beeline's probably been telling them all year what to do. I mean, he knows what he's doing, clearly.
And that could have been real serious.
No, that was scary.
Yeah, it was.
But it puts it in perspective.
Of that.
And now it puts it in perspective, and then it goes...
And I think he's a really good coach, too.
Oh, he's excellent coach. He started all... Guy was never an assistant.
Is that right?
You ever see him? Never an assistant. Never. He was like high school coach, JUCO coach, Division III coach, Division II coach, little Canisius coach, Richmond, West Virginia, Michigan.
Yeah. Wow.
At Lemoyne, yet never an assistant coach. He says he just wanted to be,
That's rare.
It is rare these days, but you can do it. Lots of ways to skin a cat.
How your experience coming here in the next 72 hours, you being in Atlanta, on Turner, how much of that, and we touched on it for a second, but with recruiting, this has to go such a long way to get Sienna's brand out there and to get your own.
It's more about the school. I just want to take care of, make sure the school gets it out there. And I'm blessed, lucky to do it. Anytime you can be involved with something like that, I got a good friend in Atlanta I'm going to go down and see the night before. This friend of mine, Mike Bisciotti, who his brother actually owns the Ravens. So it's a kind of a double hit for me because he's part of we're like extended family type thing. So I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, you need to. I thought I was going to do like 2 seconds or something. They're like, you're on for 6 hours both nights.
Wow.
So, you know, it's fine.
You're going to be hanging out watching basketball.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it's good recruiting. Unfortunately, we don't have scholarships, so maybe I can find one.
Yeah, but this is good exposure for the school.
No, it's good for the school.
I mean, there's no question about that. There's no doubt about that.
We've had a lot of good exposure this year. We're lucky the league picked us up on that ESPN2 game with Monmouth, and then Fairfield. Then the last game with Billis and everybody being here. And
you play good in both those games.
We played well, but the arena was great. The fans were great. And our student section, I mean, that was just ridiculous. The students have been great, but it's about getting Sienna's name out there, and I work for the school, and it's a great school, so the more people that... I just like that they're not having all the big... Like, it's good they're taking a mid-major guy, because, usually it's the same big BCS-type schools, and you want to let them know that there's a lot of mid-majors out there, and that's why it's going to be interesting. Vermont would be the one that would be unbelievable if they could win. I just didn't like their draw, I just didn't like the draw.
I think your invisible handshake has something to do with it, too. They all like that.
Arnold Palmer just told me, you shake hands. You shake hands all the time after a game, whether you like the guy or not. You don't have to golf with him
coach
again.
at all, but we got to get him in there. Bring him in.
My thing, I told you that night I filmed it with my phone. That thing got retweeted thousands of times.
Welcome to 2017.
So you're leaving tomorrow?
Yeah, I leave tomorrow, get down there. And then it's Saturday and Sunday night.
What, are you going to sit around and watch college games today?
Yeah, I mean, we got stuff to do, Shark and I. I've been watching since the thing started. I watched Monmouth. I was a little sad that they didn't play well against Ole Miss on the NIT.
I thought they were going to beat them.
This is
taking Shark to Recovery Sports Grill?
I love that place. They got the best chicken tenders there. They're like homemade.
Just had them yesterday.
The Buffalo Shark. It's not on my diet.
That's right. The boss took you out, right?
Did.
Yeah.
So good.
But I mean, no, I would have watched games. This is Shark's favorite days. Today, tomorrow.
It's a lot of people's favorite day.
It's a unique time of year.
I wish I was off today.
It's funny because the guy doing today, that's the Baton Death March. That's 11 a.m. until midnight, 1 a.m.
So do you have any advice for Zach?
Zach's going to be great in Denver. You're going to do well. Big Bill's Pizza. I told you. The guy, Big Bill. Big Bill Thickey runs the town. He's Doug Moe's best friend. He's just got one pizza place. He doesn't have 50. His kid played for me at Loyola. Dan Fickey's assistant at Denver. You got Big Bill in your pocket. You'll be fine.
Stokely, Ravens guy.
He's going out there, too. I just, be careful of the brownies you eat out there.
I was going to say, give me a little wheezy. Woozy. A little sleepy.
They're not just Nutella and peanut butter like mine that I brought. I brought him brownies from the French.
Well, Coach, have fun in Atlanta.
Yeah, no.
We'll be watching.
We're gonna, Zach, you do a great job. It's not going to be the same around here. We're trying to play out there. We're trying to play Denver.
That would be awesome.
Home,
I will be there.
I
will be there. If you're there, I will be there.
Congrats, great for you. Big town, and then, you got the Nuggets coming up, but the Broncos are constantly, that's like the Redskins. That's like the Yankees, right? That's like what it is out there, right?
They say if you veer away from the Broncos for more than a segment, your numbers go down.
There you go. Well, Romo's coming, isn't he?
They have a Romo watch 10 after the hour every
and
hour.
Shark and the Jets get Cutler and Tebow. You mix it. Cutler and Tebow in the same year. Shark saying goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. See you
Thanks,
later.
Ryan. Appreciate it. Thanks, Coach.
See you guys. Thank you.